Today, let's go over a story shared by a woman who says she ruined her relationship for nothing. She's basically going to share her story, and we're going to help understand what she did was right or wrong, and from a man's perspective, what can a guy do if he faces such a circumstance with a woman in his life? So as we all know and have seen around us so many times, this woman was married to this guy and never had any other relationship with someone else. As time went by, she started getting bored when life got on and things weren't as exciting with the husband anymore. It was then that she started thinking there's something else. Someone else out there for her who will give the attention she constantly needs to fuel her insecurities, someone who will give her everything she wants whenever she wants, and someone who will constantly evolve to read her mind and make her wildest dreams and fantasies come true. I'm saying this because yes, I think that's how sometimes women think. They think men should have some sort of a superpower that allows them to read women's minds and constantly spend their whole lives revolving around their women and fulfilling all her needs, while also providing for her financially, physically, and socially, and just be everything she expects him to be all the time, 24/7, every single day. Right, so the women got bored after a while, and guys, the couple has children as well, so don't forget that they're part of the equation too, and yet the woman can only think about herself and why she isn't having the greatest adventures of her life all the time. Anyway, so she goes to have an affair with a younger man, a guy who's also married by the way. She then gets caught by her husband, and from here on, she goes to describe what happened. So she shares that she ruined not only her marriage with her husband, but also destroyed the relationship she had with her children. She says she's destroyed her husband and children's lives, and hers as well. She's a woman in her late 30s, and so is the husband. They have 4 children and have been married since the last 18 years. She keeps on saying she feels horrible and cries all the time and is in a terrible state. She says she had an extramarital affair with a younger man. It went on for a while and it felt really amazing in the beginning. But as time went by, she started feeling guilty, and it just felt like it was a fantasy she was trying to forcefully live. She feels ashamed and can't even look at herself in the mirror. There's one thing that just baffles me about some women. So you go and ruin your marriage of 38 years with some guy who's giving you the time of your life in the bedroom or on the couch, and you feel young suddenly. But after having that fun, you realize that even that's not worth it. So now you feel horrible about yourself and what you've done to your family. I mean, did you not see this happening when you started having an affair with someone else? Did you not see what it would lead to? I mean, what did you think? That you'd have your back slammed by a younger dude who made you feel young again, and after all of this, you'd return to your husband and children and expect the whole family will welcome you in open arms? I mean, I really don't understand how some women can absolutely ignore what they have in front of them. Where's the willpower? Where's the promise you made to your husband when you got married to him? If he had cheated on you, would you be okay with that and just ignore it? She then mentions it was her sister who recommended her to write down her story and share it online so that she could get some perspective and help from men and women who have been in similar situations. She says her sister found out about the affair and warned her early on to quit it and come clean in front of her husband, otherwise I would suffer the brutal consequences. Okay, so she has a sister, who's also someone who has cheated on someone, and she warned her about all of it, and the woman still didn't have it in her to stop cheating and went on just to have some fun. I mean, guys, just look at everything she had to lose and compare it with what she had to gain. She had her whole 18 years of marriage, her husband and 4 children to lose, and what did she lose it for? Some pleasure in the bed for a fantasy because she got bored? Seriously, people really need to prioritize their lives. Anyway, she goes on to share that she was selfish, self-centered, and was only thinking about herself this whole time. Well, she's right about that. Most women I know today are like that. They place too much importance on their own emotions and forget what they have to lose. So she said she had a falling out with her sister because she refused to listen to her, who was asking her to quit the affair and stop seeing the other guy. The husband began the legal work for the divorce to proceed and refused to talk to her about anything. She shares that her therapist believes this whole thing started when she lost her best friend to cancer a couple of years ago. The friend who was a partner in a law firm and who she admired so much. She says she has an average career in marketing and was recently an at-home mother to her children, and this was one of the best times of her life. She says she started resenting him and blaming him for all the experiences she hadn't had in her life yet, and she somehow felt stuck in home because she couldn't do all the things that she wanted to do. Guys, this is a common occurrence. Girls push guys into relationships and marriage, and then into having kids and settling down. They then have to do their mom duties for a couple of years, and suddenly they realize they're bored, and that's when they start putting all the blame to men. Now this guy does well enough so that she can be at home in comfort with her children, while he goes to work every day and listens to his bosses tell him off. She has it so much better than most, where women have to work to make ends meet. This is a typical nature that women show in their lives, where they are ungrateful for all that they have in front of them. She says she had a great life with her husband, who was very kind to her and would provide for her needs, physically, financially, and emotionally. And she had great children who she loved with all her heart. She shares that then her younger sister got engaged, and being the party animal was having the time of her life. That's when the younger sister cheated on her fiancé, who broke off the marriage. She says she started fantasizing about being with other men and cheating, and that's when she started responding to a younger coworker's flirtatious attempts online. So that's when she basically started cheating on her husband, when she started seeing this other coworker guy. And in that time, she neglected her husband in the bed and would snap at him and resent him for making her stuck in a marriage when she really wanted to have some validation. Guys, here we have a woman who has a loving husband who gives her everything she wants, including a home, a place to belong, a good social value in her society, food on the table, and the fact that she could chill at home and have a good life. But no, she wants something else in someone else, so as soon as she gets some added validation from some other guy, she runs off for some sausage. How many times have we heard such stories? It's crazy how women can just ruin good lives for some temporary fun and then try to blame their men for everything that's wrong in their lives. She then says she started self-justifying all of this in her mind and started believing that it was her right to just do as she pleases with other men. It was her life, and she was going to live it the way she wants. Women, I say this to you directly. Please, if you want to live a life like that, just never get married, never get involved with a guy long term, never have children, live independently, work independently, and do whatever you want. Just don't marry someone, be in a relationship, and suddenly, when you feel like there might some grass that's greener on the other side, you start sharing your body with other people because you just feel like it now. That's not what marriage is. You have no right to do that to your husband and your children, who have no idea that their mother is a validation-seeking sausage animal. She shares that the husband was so loving that he used to make her favorite food when she was working late. He would hold her, kiss her, make love to her, and give her these little gifts all the time. After she started having the affair, he stopped doing that and only made food for himself and the children. He would not hold her or be the same person he was. And this only angered the woman further, until one day they had a confrontation where everything came out in the open. Now the woman says she feels horrible and knows it's all on her. Guys, there's great learning in all of this. No matter where you are and no matter what age group you belong to, always know that it's not necessary that once you're married happily, it's going to stay like that forever. Women need constant validation, which I personally believe is just a cop-out for not being content with who they are at certain points in their lives and not truly being in control of their own emotions. Guys need to understand that you can't put your woman to a pedestal, because that's the benchmark that you're setting, and it's something she'll expect from you as a default for the rest of her life. So when things change even a bit, you're a bad guy and she'll run off to the other guys, giving her more validation. Guys need to be very careful about who they marry. They need to be with women who are self-assured and don't need constant validation all the time. Guys aren't robots or mind readers. And guys, when a woman like this stumbles in your life, you know what to do. Don't be loose and allow her to cross your boundaries. Thanks for tuning in.